Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Krame Center for Mindful Living. Welcome back to those of you who are a regular part of our mindfulness community and meditation group, and a warm welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time. So very quickly, a little bit about us. We are a global nonprofit organization whose mission is to make the benefits of mindfulness, self-compassion, and positive psychology accessible to all. Our goal is to help people become more resilient and live better lives through our various programs. We offer affordable pricing and scholarships, as well as these free weekly meditations. And our current theme for May and June is learning to love ourselves. So this week's theme is savoring and gratitude. So today we will explore how savoring leads to gratitude and greater resilience. Taking the time to appreciate and savor even the simple moments is a powerful way to enhance our well-being. So what is savoring? It involves noticing and appreciating the positive aspects of life, right? Whether it's a momentary smile of a loved one, a precious interaction with your child or your grandchild, playful moments with your pet, sacred moments spent in nature, or larger life events such as the birth of a child or your child's college graduation. Savoring really beckons us to be present with these moments, feeling them fully, letting them linger, and then letting them go, right? It's about having an awareness of the pleasure that these moments evoke and really immersing ourselves in these feelings and appreciating the goodness that's happening while it is happening, right? Appreciating the goodness that's happening while it is happening. When we embrace the world with a loving and connected presence, we notice precious moments that often go unnoticed unless we are paying attention. Even those simple and ordinary moments. Taking the time to savor and appreciate these positive experiences and letting them linger can really increase our happiness and well-being. When we savor something, it generally leads to feelings of gratitude, which may prompt us to recognize just how much we have to be grateful for in our lives, right? Typically, we tend to focus more on the negative or what's wrong in our lives rather than the good and what is working. You know, for example, we might have a review at work and receive mostly positive feedback, but we receive one negative remark, and this is what we take away from the meeting. Rather than focusing on the wonderful things that were said, all we can think about is that one negative remark. And this is known as the negativity bias, which we've spoken about often, but we need to be reminded of it, right? And as very well known psychologist Rick Hanson says, the mind is like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. And isn't that the truth? So the positive experiences can easily slip away while the negative ones often remain and are much more sticky. So that negativity bias did have an evolutionary function, although now in modern times, it no longer serves us in the same way. So it's really important that we intentionally recognize the positive moments and experiences in life. And by acknowledging these positive moments, we can take time to savor them and fully enjoy the positive feelings that they bring. And savoring positive moments and having gratitude for them has been shown to have far-reaching benefits. Research has shown that by having positive emotions, it really broadens our attention, allowing us to see the world with a greater perspective, with more opportunities, and with a greater sense of gratitude, which can dramatically improve our well-being and also increase our resilience, right? So when we encounter difficulties, we are much more equipped to handle them. If we make it our intention to be mindful of small moments to savor on a daily basis, it not only promotes feelings of gratitude, but it leads us to search for more moments in our day to savor and be grateful for. So savoring promotes gratitude and gratitude promotes savoring, which both lead to an upward spiral of positive emotions. And this then eventually becomes a natural feedback loop. And without effort, right, we begin to recognize all of the things in our life to savor and be grateful for. It's really important to note that all the evidence shows that practicing gratitude is a powerful way to cultivate well-being, increase positive emotions, and build resilience, because studies have shown that we cannot be in a state of gratitude and experience negative emotions at the same time. Yes, that is right. We cannot be in a state of gratitude and experience negative emotions at the same time. The brain chemistry simply doesn't allow it. And as we're moving into the warmer months now, summertime is a great time to practice savoring and gratitude. You know, we tend to spend more time outdoors, and that means being in our natural environment, whether we are simply taking a walk outdoors, playing with our children or pets in the backyard, or excursions to the beach or a lake setting. We can avail ourselves of the magic, the mystery, and the wonder of the natural world if we pay attention to the details. And that is a natural gateway or doorway into savoring and gratitude. So tonight, as we practice savoring, give yourself permission to relish in the feelings of positivity that arise and notice how maybe it leads to gratitude. So I invite you, as we do the practice, not to cling to them, just kind of letting them be there, noticing them. And then I want to share this quote by Anna Godberson. I've always believed in savoring the moments. In the end, they are the only things we'll have. So before we move into the meditation, there is one thing I would like to highlight, which is that all these practices and tools that we share with you during our weekly meditations are not about burying our heads in the sand while the world around us is in turmoil, but it's about recognizing that change begins with each one of us and comes about one person at a time, right? So if we can increase our well-being and resilience and adopt a broader perspective, we show up in the world more authentically, with greater conviction, and more able to take action. And so this is why we stress the importance of our own self-care. It's not selfish, it's self-care, and it's imperative. All right, so I'm going to invite you now to adjust your posture and find a comfortable seat. And if closing the eyes feels right for you this afternoon, then please do so, or just softening the gaze. And so just taking a moment to kind of settle into your seat. Maybe lengthening the spine and moving the crown of the head towards the sky. And firmly making contact with your sits bones in the seat. And just imagining this lengthening, just giving a little bit more spaciousness in the body. And then maybe allowing the lower half of the body to become a little bit heavier, serving as the stable base from which the upper half of your body can rise. Allowing the head to gently balance above the neck and shoulders, And then perhaps feeling the support of the seat that you're sitting in, the support of your own body as you're sitting here in this moment. And letting the sensation of your feet touching the floor be another anchor into the moment, into the body, into feeling the support below you. And as you're ready, turning your awareness further inward, turning your attention to the breath. Just being with the breath, following along each cycle of your own breathing. Not needing to do anything, not needing to change anything, just being with the breath as you might be with a good friend on a leisurely stroll. And then perhaps noticing how the breath breathes itself without having to do anything. This breath that breathes itself and keeps you alive. And maybe even bringing a curiosity and a fresh perspective, being curious, exploring the breath, maybe noticing the nuances of the breath and how it continually shifts and changes. Perhaps even having a sense of gratitude for the breath. Maybe finding wonder in this life sustaining force and taking a moment to savor the breath, this breath that we so often take for granted. So just noticing where the breath is most noticeable: belly, chest, throat, and then perhaps savoring the nuances of the movement of the breath, belly rising and falling, ribs expanding and contracting. Perhaps the subtle movement of the breath at the back of the throat, or the barely perceptible warmth at the nostrils as the air passes over the upper lip on an exhalation. And noticing the qualities of the breath, easy, labored, long, short, deep, or shallow, soft or harsh. So just feeling the gentle movement of the body with each breath and taking a moment to savor what you notice, to savor what is making itself known. After all, this breath of ours is what keeps us alive from morning till night, from day to day, week to week, month to month, and year to year. If the mind wanders, that's totally fine. Just gently guiding it back, exploring the breath, savoring what arises. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, but just being, not doing, being here in this moment. Maybe even savoring this notion of nothing to do, nowhere to go, allowing yourself just to be, and just to be exactly as you are in this moment. And now, as you're ready, broadening the awareness from a narrow focus on the breath and expanding it to a broader focus, like broadening the beam of a flashlight that cuts a narrow path through the dark night to this massive floodlight that illuminates the entire night sky. That breath sweeping in and out of the body, perhaps savoring the breath as it so expansively sweeps through the entire body. And now, as you're ready, calling to mind a time that you savored an experience. Maybe it was a moment that brought you a sense of wonder. Maybe it was your first sunset, taking in the glorious colors of the sky. Maybe it was the birth of a child. Maybe it was a precious moment with your child or pet. Maybe it was yesterday morning on a walk as you noticed the sun filtering through the trees. So maybe there are many of these moments coming to mind, but just settling on one, whatever it is, taking a moment to recall this experience and holding it in the mind's eye. recalling all of the details and what it was about the experience that made you savor it, and seeing if just for now it's possible to relive the moment of savoring and how it feels now. Noticing the emotions. What is arising for you when you think about this experience and how you savored it? Perhaps there's a little bit of joy, happiness, peace, contentment. So just noticing what emotions are tied to this savored experience. And just being with these emotions, labeling them. And now perhaps noticing the physical sensations associated with these emotions. So where can you feel these emotions that are tied to this savored experience? Right? Where in the body can you feel these emotions? Maybe it's a warmth in the chest or tingling in the fingertips. So exploring, what does it feel like in your body? Perhaps taking a moment to allow yourself to delight and relish in this, savoring this experience again for a moment, just lingering with the experience and all that it evokes. And perhaps noticing that a sense of gratitude has made itself known. And then just releasing this part of the practice. And now calling to mind something in your life that you are grateful for. And it doesn't have to be large or grandiose. It can be as simple as your morning cup of coffee, sunny weather, a text from a loved one. So just choosing something simple that you're grateful for that you may normally take for granted, and reflecting on the why. Why are you grateful for this in your life? And just seeing what arises for you. What are the details of an experience like this that highlights what or who you're grateful for? So, reliving an experience that you're grateful for or something that you're grateful for, and thinking about the gratitude that you feel and why. Perhaps taking a moment now to savor these feelings of gratitude. Noticing, taking a moment just to explore where the gratitude can be felt and what do feelings of gratitude feel like. Again, whether it's an overall sense of lightness or warmth in the chest or fullness in the heart, softness in the belly, or maybe it's even a little bit of joy. Taking a moment to savor these feelings associated with gratitude and just lingering with them for a moment or two. And then letting them go. And maybe just reflecting on this practice and noticing how savoring can lead to gratitude and gratitude can lead to savoring. If that was your experience. And if it wasn't, that's fine too. But just resting in your own experience, just as it was, and just as you are right now. And then just gently releasing the practice. Perhaps keeping the eyes closed for a moment more as we end with a poem, Savor, by Clarissa Estes. Moments like this one sputter into my time, propelled from somewhere beyond on wings moving their own time speed. Interrupted, I shift gears, enter pause, breathing in all that's offered, absorbing what's willing to linger. And as the moment flits on past, vanishing, I breathe deeper, registering effects, mood, insight, questions. I remain still, a patient indulgence, reflecting like the mockingbird. I replay what I recall, hovering in the gaps, the possibilities, from whence lines form, follow one another, to savor that moment now gone, to open wider my door, welcoming more. And as you're ready, you can gently allow the eyes to open if they were closed. And maybe a movement or two, maybe a stretch of the neck, wiggling fingers and toes, whatever movement your body might be calling for. And thank you for your practice this afternoon. And I'd like to leave you with a weekly invitation, as we always do. So the invitation for this week is to pay attention to the simple moments in your daily life that bring you pleasure, and then take the time to savor them, drink them in, savor them, appreciate them, and then acknowledge any feelings of gratitude that arise. Right? And I invite you to do this every day, and you may notice that you begin to look for moments to savor and be grateful for. All right. Thank you, everyone. Be well and take good care. Until next time.